In around 2014, Vurse created Speedrun 4, an idea so simple and genius at the same time. The whole point of the game was to complete the course while running really quickly. Back then, this game got pretty challenging in the later stages, which is pretty surprising, and after about 11 years, it is still fairly popular. Even the replayability of the game is good. It is a perfect example of a casual game. You can pick it back up at any time, it's like it's sitting there waiting for you. Then other updates came out attempting to increase the replayability of the game, like dimensions, then cosmetics like dances and trails. Then he went full pet simulator and added pets into the game as sort of a passive progression. But purchasing better eggs required you to complete the same levels dozens of times. I mean, just look at the icon, you're not fooling anyone. It just seems very unnecessary and was not well received by anyone. Despite that, the game still retains some charm to it and has even decided to add new levels like Sacred Pickle Temple. But in case you don't like the new Speedrun 4, there exists a classic version of the game, so you can fulfill your speedrunning needs pet-free. He owns a group, ROBLOX Universe, that showcases his smaller games, but we're only going to talk about a couple of them. But primarily, we'll be talking about games by him that aren't shown on his homepage, which will be differently categorized. We'll first start off with games with more than one iteration, which brings us to talk about Moo Moo Mystery, listed on his group. It is a spin on the murder mystery genre, except that the murderer is a cow. There are 3 roles. As a researcher, you try to survive. As a security, you try to shoot the Moo Moo, and as the Moo Moo, try to murder everyone without being caught. Also, the characters look like this. Overall, the game is good for what it is, and makes sense for putting you in first person. Moving on to the hidden games, the first one we'll be talking about is called Moon Place. All it is just a lobby of Moo Moo Mystery with nothing else added. The next one is called Knife Test, which seems to be an exact replica of Moo Moo Mystery, or at least a previous version of the game, and in the title screen reads It Moos, which is probably what it was called back then. That's all the games I found in terms of Moo Moo Mystery. Moving on to a game in which I can't be certain has a name yet. Telling by these places, it seems to be this medieval style RPG or dungeon crawler game equipped with potential armor sets, unique movement, and different stages, I presume. This definitely seems to be heavily in beta, so he either hit a wall and stopped working on it, or moved on to a different game. Either way, this would have been a pretty interesting game to play. I just kinda wish we would have gone to see more of what this would have become. Next up are a series of games that showcase a racing game in progress, with a cool looking shop showing off different carts. There are various items implemented, there exists a rank system, even has 3 full maps. Well, 2 full maps, because for whatever reason the SWAT map has an invisible barrier. Can't get through. Even when you go the other way, it still blocks you, and this didn't happen in only one game. Okay, well, what else I expect? I swear, if the same thing happens, why did they even decide to why did they put a wall here? Oh, okay, now I know this one's one that I played. Wait, but is it the same thing? But seeing what this game was based off of, I can see why this was never released, but it's still pretty cool. Next one seems to be a clan called Throne Capital. They have different teams, allies, raiders, the throne, and visitors, so simply put, just a clan game. They also have these trading places, but I believe trying to teleport to any of the teams listed just teleports you to the void. This game only had 3,000 visits, so this didn't really take off, obviously. That's all there is for the collective iteration games. Now onto the main course, those being Speedrun 4 versions. We'll first talk about the Speedrun 4 versions that had the old movement, like this one. I found it pretty funny that your character could jump in mid-air, and this air hop could also assist you with the notorious stage 6 skip by just hopping over to the end. I still find this version of movement awesome. Now, I will skip over a couple of these versions due to them having essentially the same logic and gameplay, so there's that. The next one we'll be checking out is called Obby Game, and seems to be a spin on the game Tower of Hell, but instead in speedrun format. I think I did get unlucky with the stages chosen because 4 of them were the same cloud stage, but what do I know? Despite that, this game seems too basic when it comes to the stages. They could very much have more variety with where they are placed, but I'd assume this is a very early version of the game that might not be released, but still pretty cool. Next up is the Speedrun 4 variation, where I presume everyone tries to get to the end first, as this requires more than 2 players. So I got an alt in the game and a chosen random map, I assume. Now this is the type of updates I want to see. This game even has the cards from the old version of Speedrun 4. Upon reaching the end, you just wait for the other people to finish, which gives you quite a lot of time to finish. Also, pressing the exit race button takes you to a Speedrun 4 variation. The next one consists of 2 games, testing the old and new version of the physics of the game. Upon reviewing both clips, I can't really see much of a difference between the two, but they have cards, so that's pretty cool. Also, this one doesn't even have any other levels because it just takes you back to the beginning in both games. I guess I could also talk about the variation that makes you long and has a virtual shop that doesn't tell you what you're buying, and none of the buttons work. Moving on, we're going back to the game's showcase on this group. I now welcome you to Speedrun 4 But You're a Ball. It is immensely self-explanatory. It's Speedrun 4, but instead of running, you roll around in a crystal ball. What else can I say? The rolling is quite nice, it actually feels perfect. It feels like it could be a modifier in the original game. Next one is Speedrun 4 Nightmare Mode. I could have sworn that was the name of one of the modes, but I guess not. When I first played this game, I honestly didn't think this game was made by Vurse, and that it was another group who copied the game and added their own spin, but nope. There's just this scary guy who chases you, but he goes the same speed as you, so you don't really have to worry. He can't hurt you anymore. The last one I'll talk about in this category is called Helicopter Chase. Do I even have to say anything? Oh my dear lord. Let us move on from that to the last category, which is One Game Wonders. Maybe we could first talk about Retro Mall Bathroom. Oh, right. Never mind, let's start with cubes, which are a bunch of cubes. There's this game, which just has 2 gravity coils with different equip sounds. There's April Fool's Prank Place, which is just a voxel map of a beach. It also had this very bright area with nothing inside, and upon getting to the end of this course, there was nothing. There's this game that I can closely relate to Bulked Up because you hit this guy and it gives you gems that look pretty similar to the ones in Bulked Up. Even the shop looks the same, but for whatever reason, it would continue prompting me with something. Moving to a game that is listed in this group here is Silly Grinding Simulator. You are prompted with this message, to which I press the most obvious option here. On the right, there are a whole bunch of items you can unlock to shred, with the first item being a sad little hamster. Shredding them gives you money, to which you can use for other items and cosmetics. I could see this as a way to kill some time, and the sounds of the grinder are pretty satisfying. Going back to hidden games, there's Road Pictionary Deluxe. This game requires 2 players. To put it short, you choose a prompt, draw the prompt, the others guess the prompt except the others can't because the painting is only visible on your client. The next game is called Find the Legendary Cards. There's a whole bunch of cards on this map and you must find them. They're the same cards previously shown in the Speedrun 4 games. I'm pretty sure this is where they originated from, and I'm assuming that he wanted to implement this idea into another game, but was eventually scrapped. It states that there are 56 cards to collect, so here's me collecting a couple of these cards. A pretty interesting game. One game is paid access, 90 Robux. Tired of the normal fights on heights? Play this one, it's in the rain. This is how it went. Oh, I have all my gears. It's like a little hangout game, I guess. At least I have gears. Wow, I love my basketball. I love my sledding thing. Wow, I love this. I hope this was a lifelong investment. The last one I'll be talking about is called Bliss. From what I can tell, this is a 2D platformer. It also has the old spikes and boats, and when you get to the end, it says there's more coming soon. But if you continue going right... Get me out of here. This game is already eerie enough on its own, but if you go the other way, it shows a bunch of silhouettes of Robloxians on gallows. This is pretty unsettling to see in a Roblox game, but despite that, this game was said to have a sequel in the description. What could possibly be continued in this game? This just makes me want to know more, but I don't think that this would be worked on ever. That's all the games I have for today. Wait, let's go back to Speedrun 4. Enhance more? 4. I've always wondered why we never see the 3 previous speedruns, but I've searched far and wide, and with a couple of Google searches, I found presumably the other 3 speedruns. The first one is simply called Speedrun Original, made in 2014. It consists of only 15 stages and doesn't have a custom running animation. It's just completing courses with a high walk speed. This would bloom into a grand idea with Speedrun Ultimate, which is just Speedrun 2. This consists of 23 stages and actually has a custom running cycle, but it does have this peculiar movement glitch that sinks you into the ground and makes you slide around. It can even make you fall off a slope, but apart from that, nice game. Now for Speedrun 3, I did actually find 2 versions of Speedrun 3. The first version, the other one oddly came out earlier than the first speedrun, which is pretty strange, but let's check it out. It has the basic Roblox running animation, only 15 stages, but I guess kinda new ideas with the courses. That's pretty much all I can say about it, nothing too new, and pretty similar to the first one. It's grand to see this idea grow. There are multiple other games like this with their very own numbers, like 5 or 6 or 11 or 24 or 64. The 5th one is actually pretty good, I encourage you to play. But as of now, it has 0 active players, most likely due to the fact that people just like Speedrun 4 better, which is understandable judgment. Who knows, we may have greater speedrun goodness fed to us in the future. That's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments which creator you want me to talk about next, but until then, see you next time.